Hi, I'm Millie. 6 years of savings, countless sleepless nights, and every ounce of my creativity had gone into Harvest Table. Tomorrow was supposed to be opening day, the culmination of my lifelong dream. Instead, I stood across the street at 4 a.m., watching firefighters battle the inferno consuming my restaurant. "Ma'am, you need to stay back," a firefighter urged, guiding me further from the scene. "That's my restaurant," I whispered, my voice barely audible over the chaos. "That's everything I have!" My phone buzzed. My sister Diane's name flashed on the screen. "Millie? Oh my God, I just heard. Are you okay? Where are you?" Her voice trembled. "I'm watching it burn, Di. Everything's gone. I'm coming right now. Don't move." 20 minutes later, Diane's car screeched to a halt beside me. She rushed out, wrapping me in a tight hug. "I can't believe this is happening," she said, her eyes fixed on the smoking building. "How did it start?" "I don't know. I got a call from the security company about the alarm going off." A police officer approached us. "Miss Miller, I'm Detective Harris. I need to ask you some questions when you're ready." Diane squeezed my hand. "I'm staying with you." "Where's Victor?" I asked, suddenly realizing my brother-in-law wasn't with her. Diane's expression shifted. He stayed home with the kids." Detective Harris led us to her car, away from the commotion. "The fire chief says they found something concerning. The fire appears to have multiple points of origin." "What does that mean?" Diane asked. "It means someone likely started it intentionally. We're treating this as arson." My stomach dropped. "Arson? Who would—" "Miss Miller, can you think of anyone who might want to harm you or your business?" Before I could answer, my phone rang. It was Maya, my head chef and closest friend. "Millie, I just heard. I'm on my way." "Maya, it's gone," I choked out. "I know, honey. Just hang tight." After I hung up, Detective Harris continued. "We'll need a list of people who had access to the building." "Just me, Maya, my chef, and the contractors," I said. "But they finished weeks ago." "What about family members?" Diane shifted uncomfortably beside me. "My sister has a key," I said, glancing at Diane. "For emergencies." "Anyone else?" Diane's phone buzzed. She looked at it, her face paling. "It's Victor. He's asking what's happening." "That's weird," I said slowly. "How would he know something's happening at 4:30 in the morning?" Detective Harris's expression sharpened. "Mrs. Reed, does your husband have access to your keys?" Maya's car pulled up before Diane could answer. She rushed over, her chef's jacket half-buttoned. "Millie!" As we embraced, Maya whispered, "I saw someone last night, after we finished prep." "What? Who?" "A man in a baseball cap. I thought he was just passing by, but—" She hesitated, looking at Diane. "He looked like Victor." Diane gasped. "That's impossible! Why would Victor be here at midnight?" I asked, my voice hardening. "He wouldn't," Diane insisted. "There must be some mistake," Detective Harris interrupted. "Mrs. Reed, where was your husband last night between midnight and 3 a.m.? "He was home, of course. We were both home." "Are you certain? Did you see him?" Diane's confident expression faltered. I took a sleeping pill. I was out cold until Victor woke me about 20 minutes before I called you, Millie." "Why did he wake you?" Detective Harris asked. "He said he had a bad feeling, that we should check on Millie's restaurant." Diane's voice dropped to a whisper. "Oh my God." "Mrs. Reed, we'll need to speak with your husband," Detective Harris said, already dialing on her phone. As the sun rose over the charred remains of my restaurant, the truth began to emerge from the ashes. 3 days later, I sat across from Detective Harris at the police station, a folder of evidence between us. "The fire investigators found traces of accelerant in 3 separate locations," she explained, sliding photos across the table. "Security footage from the building across the street shows someone matching your brother-in-law's description entering through the back door at 1:17 a.m. "Did you find the key he used?" I asked. "No, but we found this." She produced an evidence bag containing a partially melted credit card. "It's in your brother-in-law's name." My hands trembled. Why would he do this? We were hoping you could help with that. The door opened and Diane entered, looking exhausted. She sat beside me without meeting my eyes. Have you spoken to him? I asked her. He won't tell me anything, she whispered. Just keep saying it's all a misunderstanding. Mrs. Reed, Detective Harris interjected. We found something else. Your husband recently took out a large insurance policy on his landscaping business. The policy specifically covers loss of income due to family emergencies. Diane's head snapped up. What are you suggesting? If your restaurant failed, Miss Miller, would you have asked for your sister's help? Of course I would have, I said. And Diane would have helped me no matter what. Which would have affected her household income, the detective concluded. That's absurd, Diane protested. Victor wouldn't. He made a claim on the policy yesterday, Detective Harris interrupted, citing family emergency. Silence fell over the room. I need some air, Diane muttered, rushing out. I followed her into the hallway. Wait. She spun around, tears streaming down her face. I swear I didn't know Millie. I believe you. He's been acting strange for months. Ever since you got the loan approval. I thought he was just stressed about his business. Maya appeared at the end of the corridor. The insurance investigator wants to talk to us. Diane grabbed my arm. Millie, what do I tell the kids? The truth, Di. Their father made a terrible choice. Maya approached cautiously. I hate to interrupt, but there's something else you should know. Remember Tom from the bank? He called me this morning. Said Victor came to him 3 weeks ago asking about your loan details. He had no right to that information, I said. Tom didn't give him anything, Maya assured me. But he thought it was weird. Said Victor seemed desperate to know how financially stable you were. Detective Harris joined us. Mrs. Reed, we need to bring your husband in for questioning. He's not at home, Diane admitted. He left this morning. Said he was going to fix things. My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Millie, it's Victor. We need to talk. I put the phone on speaker. There's nothing to talk about, Victor. You don't understand. I was trying to help you. Detective Harris motioned for me to keep him talking. Help me? By burning down my restaurant? You weren't ready. The location was all wrong. The concept wouldn't work. I was saving you from bankruptcy. Diane covered her mouth in horror. So you admit you set the fire? I pressed. It wasn't supposed to destroy everything, he insisted. Just delay the opening. Give you time to reconsider. Where are you now, Victor? I'm at the site. I wanted to see. I didn't mean for it to get so out of control. Detective Harris was already on her radio. Units to harvest table location. Suspect on site. Victor, Diane finally spoke up. How could you do this? A long pause. Di? Are you with her? Answer me, Victor. How could you? I was protecting our family. Her failure would have dragged us down too. Turn yourself in, I said firmly. It's over. No, you need to listen. But I had already ended the call. The charred skeleton of my restaurant looked even worse in daylight. Yellow police tape fluttered in the breeze as Victor stood at the edge of the property, his back to us. Victor Reed, Detective Harris called out. We need you to come with us. He turned slowly. His usually neat appearance was disheveled, unshaven, clothes wrinkled, eyes bloodshot. Millie, he said, ignoring the police, you need to understand why I did this. There's no explanation that could possibly justify this, I replied, keeping my distance. Your restaurant would have failed within 6 months, he insisted. I was saving you from humiliation. Diane pushed past me. Saving her? You destroyed everything she worked for. I was saving us, Diane. Her failure would have destroyed our finances too. You know she'd have come to us for money. So what if she did? She's my sister. We have 2 kids to think about. And they'll now grow up with their father in prison, Diane shot back. Victor's expression darkened. No one was supposed to know it was me. Yet you left plenty of evidence, Detective Harris interjected. The credit card was careless. I dropped it when the flames spread faster than I expected, he admitted. then caught himself. I mean, stop lying, Victor, I said. Maya saw you the night before. The security camera caught you entering. It's over. I was trying to help everyone. By committing a felony? Detective Harris asked. You filed an insurance claim before the ashes were even cold, I said, disgust evident in my voice. Victor stepped toward me, desperation in his eyes. Millie, please, I panicked. But I can make this right. I have connections. Contractors who can rebuild this place in half the time at cost. With what money, Victor? The insurance payout you were planning to steal from me? I wasn't stealing. I was going to invest it better than you could. You were going to use my insurance money to bail out your failing business, I said, the realization dawning. That's what this was really about, wasn't it? Victor flinched. My business is fine. Liar, Diane interjected. I found the past due notices you've been hiding. You're months behind on your business loans. You went through my office? Victor's face reddened with anger. After they arrested you? You bet I did, Diane fired back. You weren't protecting our family. You were saving yourself. You don't understand the pressure I've been under. Maya, who had been silent until now, stepped forward. 15 people lost their jobs because of you. People with families. Collateral damage, Victor muttered. Business is business. This wasn't business, I responded. This was my dream. Dreams don't pay bills, Millie. You were going to fail. You don't know that. The location is terrible. The concept is overdone. The numbers don't work. What numbers, Victor? The ones you invented to justify this? He ran his hands through his hair. Look, I'm sorry it went this far. I truly am. But we can fix this together. As a family. We're not family anymore, I stated flatly. Millie, please. No. You don't get to apologize. You don't get forgiveness. What you get is consequences. Victor's face contorted with rage. You ungrateful! He lunged forward suddenly. The officers reacted instantly, restraining him as he thrashed and shouted, You'll never make it without my help. You'll come begging for money within a year. As they handcuffed him, he turned to Diane. Tell her, Di! Tell her she needs us! Diane stepped back, slipping her arm through mine. No, Victor. We needed her. And you destroyed that too. This is insane! I was protecting our future! Mr. Reed, Detective Harris interrupted. You're under arrest for arson, insurance fraud, and attempted assault. You have the right to remain silent. As they led him away, still shouting justifications, Diane squeezed my hand. I'm so sorry, Millie. It's not your fault. What happens now? She whispered. I turned to look at the ruins of my restaurant. Now we rebuild. Without him. 6 months later, I stood in the center of the new harvest table. Sunlight streamed through large windows, illuminating polished concrete floors and reclaimed wood tables. What do you think? Maya asked, adjusting a centerpiece. It's even better than the original, I admitted. The prosecutor called, Diane said, entering with a tray of coffee cups. Victor's pleading guilty. Smart move, said Elliot, my insurance adjuster turned friend. The evidence was overwhelming. 15 years is a long time, Diane murmured. He'll be out in 8 with good behavior, Detective Harris remarked, accepting a coffee. But the financial penalties will follow him forever. The bell above the door jingled, and Tom from the bank entered, carrying a bottle of champagne. For the grand reopening tomorrow. Join us, I invited. We're having an impromptu pre-opening dinner. Wouldn't miss it, Tom smiled. The loan extension was the easiest approval I've ever pushed through. Arson-related insurance claims tend to get special treatment. Special treatment, I repeated, something Victor never anticipated. Have you heard from him? Maya asked Diane carefully. Diane shook her head. His lawyer called again, wanted me to ask Millie to write a character statement for sentencing. All eyes turned to me. And? Elliot prompted. I told him exactly what kind of character Victor is, I said. In explicit detail. Detective Harris chuckled. I bet that didn't help his case. He also wanted to apologize to you again, Diane added. Says he understands now what he destroyed. Too little. Too late, Maya muttered. Have the divorce papers been finalized? Tom asked gently. Diane nodded. Last week, the judge awarded me everything given the circumstances. I still can't believe he thought he'd get away with it, Elliot said, shaking his head. He underestimated me, I replied. Everyone did. The bank, the suppliers, even some of you. I smiled to soften the words. No one thought I could rebuild from nothing. I never doubted you, Maya protested. Liar, I laughed. But you stayed anyway, and that's what matters. You know what still bothers me? I said, looking around at our small gathering. He really believed I would fail, that my dream wasn't worth protecting. Some people can't stand seeing others succeed, Tom offered. Especially family, Diane added quietly. It's easier to tear down than to build up. Well, you proved him wrong in the most spectacular way, Detective Harris said, raising her cup. This place is going to be a landmark. Diane set down her cup. Victor called from jail yesterday. Wanted to know if he could see the restaurant when he gets out. Said he's proud of what we've accomplished. We? I raised an eyebrow. His exact words. What we've accomplished. Unbelievable, Detective Harris muttered. What did you tell him? I asked. Diane met my eyes. I told him there is no we anymore. That you succeeded despite him, not because of him. That he's not welcome in our lives. I squeezed her hand. Thank you. To new beginnings, Tom proposed, raising his coffee cup. And to justice, Detective Harris added. To Harvest Table 2.0, Maya cheered. Better and stronger than before. As we clinked cups, I looked around at the people who had helped me rise from the ashes. My sister who chose me over her husband, my friend who never left my side, the professionals who ensured justice was served. Tomorrow, we open those doors, I said. And we prove Victor wrong, one meal at a time. Diane smiled. Have you thought about what you'll say if he writes again? I walked to the window, looking out at the line of people already forming, customers curious about the restaurant that survived arson and betrayal. Nothing, I said firmly. Some bridges deserve to burn. What would you do if someone destroyed your dreams out of jealousy? Would you find the strength to rebuild, or would revenge consume you? Let me know in the comments below.